Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome New York Giant legend and Super Bowl champion Howard Cross.
That's pretty cool. Guys, take your seats. I'm glad you all are here tonight. For a second there, I thought I had to sing. But thank God they spared us all from that. How cool, how patriotic. Guys, I don't know if you understand or if you ever grasp or you can see this. This is like one of the few moments in history where you go into a crowded room where people are drinking and having a good time and laughing, and dead silence happens. That's cool. It shows how much we still love our country, how patriotic we are, and how much we appreciate the men and women that the color guard represent. Guys, I live in a world of sports where we talk about heroes and warriors and battles and fighting, but we know who the true heroes are in our country, and I really appreciate you showing such respect for these guys. I really appreciate that. I'm happy to be back here again. I was here last year. I was heckling Kevin Danehy. I promise not to do that again tonight. He's a good guy. His family's here. I didn't realize that, so I'm hearing about it a little bit right now. So Kevin, when you have the mic, please be careful and take care of me. We're all here for the same reason, guys. We're here tonight, and I told them don't use acronyms, for the Mental Health Association of New York City. We're here to support the efforts they have in bringing awareness and helping people that have a mental illness. Guys, 1 out of every 4 Americans at some point in the year will have a mental illness. They'll have somebody they'll need to talk to. They might take a medication. They'll have a moment. And believe it or not, especially men, we're always told to be tough. Keep your chin up. It's all right. Don't cry. Don't talk about it. Especially men in our lives, we're always told to be the guy, be the man, you're going to be okay. Well, the Mental Health Association of New York City, they're actually helping guys be able to talk about it, and women, and soldiers, and all sorts of people, including kids, be able to talk about it, and it's okay to talk, and it's okay to express, and it's okay to tell somebody that you need a little help sometime. Tonight, now I'm supposed to say this, Kevin, so I'm going to read this verbatim. Now it's my pleasure to introduce someone that has helped the Mental Health Association of New York City put them on the map. He is their MVP, most valuable player. Once you see Kevin, you know he's never played anything. So I prefer to call him a VIP, very important person to the Mental Health Association of New York City. I'd like to introduce my buddy, Kevin Danehy.
Howard, thank you very much. Howard, for those of you who were with us last year, made an impromptu appearance on the stage to lead a very successful auction, following in my heels with a much less successful attempt at auctioneering. So, Howard, thanks for joining us tonight. And last year, again, for those of you who are here, Howard and following Harry Carson last year, have done an incredible job of humanizing mental health and the stigma associated with mental illness. And it's an incredibly challenging, difficult topic for so many people to acknowledge, and virtually every family, every person has some association with it. So when our heroes from the sports field join us and become so personal in their acknowledgement of how hard it is to deal with these issues, it makes it real. And when we have people like Ken Fisher and his family, who do so much for our veterans, for our members of the military and their families, it makes it real. And so to be here tonight and to see people like Howard follow up again and again. He's been in front of the television, in front of reporters this week, to help to bring people in to deal with this incredibly important, widespread, but challenging issue is greatly appreciated. So Howard, thank you. That's as good as it's going to get tonight, Howard. All right. I'd also like to thank our United States Marine Corps Color Guard for their terrific appearance tonight. It's an honor to have you all here, as well as the other members of the military. So guys, thank you. Men and women, thank you very much. The MHA, Mental Health Association of New York City, is able to do the terrific work it does because of events like this and your support, as well as an incredibly committed and dedicated core of people. So I'd like to just take a couple of moments before I turn the podium over to my friend Scott Cutler to thank a few of those people. So I'd ask you to hold your applause before I finish, just thanking the first round of people. First, the dinner chairs, Rick Clark and Bruce Mosler. Just ask you guys to stand for a moment. If I'd ask you to hold your applause. You got to stay standing, guys. So Rick's from Brookfield and fellow board member. Bruce Mosler, global chairman of Cushman & Wakefield, also co-chair of the Intrepid Foundation, along with Ken Fisher. If you guys just stay standing for just another moment. And my co-vice chairs on the dinner committee tonight, we've got Frank Brancini from Emblem Health, Scott Cutler, New York Stock Exchange, and Cynthia Zarinsky from the Sutton Gracie Hospital. If you'd stand, please be recognized, and everybody a round of applause for these terrific, very committed people who really helped us fill the room tonight. Thanks all. Thank you. I'd also like to thank Giselle Stolper, our dynamic CEO and president, and her team. Giselle has been leading the organization for over 20 years. And when she first started, there were two people. It was Giselle and an admin, and they did advocacy. They were losing a couple $100,000 a year. In the time that she's been there leading the organization, if I could just a couple more minutes, we'll be quick, let everybody get to dinner. Giselle has changed the nature of the organization, almost 300 employees now, a budget of $25 million that puts in the top 3% of the not-for-profits in the country. And we touch over 1,200,000 lives a year. So I would just like to take a moment to thank Giselle and her team for all the great work that they do. Okay. Almost done. Last but not least, very not the least at all, I'd like to thank my bride, my best friend and partner. It'll be 22 years on Saturday. We're celebrating, seems our anniversary, and the event comes together. And her co-chair of the event, Diana Gaines. Thank you very much for the terrific work pulling this together. Diana, Sherry, thank you. And then finally, our dedicated board. I'd like to thank our dedicated board for all the great work they do. And without further ado, introduce my friend and vice chair of the board for the New York Stock Exchange, Scott Cutler. Scott?